Hi, my name is Marcin.
Hi, I'm Tadek.
We're the community managers at CDPR-Community and we're here to answer the questions you've asked us on Twitter, via Facebook, and left on our message boards. Alright, so let's go with the first question. How much time do I have to complete quests I embark on? Is there some sort of a timer? Will there something bad happen when I don't complete them on time? Absolutely not. We don't want to rush gamers at any point. We want you to take the game and enjoy it at your very own pace. There might be some instances that the game will let you know that maybe you should be moving a little bit faster than you might have intended to, but only if there's a very good reason for it in the plot.
Question number 2. The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2 differed quite a lot in terms of mood, music and combat system. Is The Witcher 3 more similar to the first or second part? Well, actually, it's a mixture of both. So we created a huge continent in which you have different parts of land. For example, No Man's Land is a place based on Slavic culture, so it's very dark, moody, a bit depressive. On the other hand, we have Skellige Islands, which are clearly inspired by Nordic culture, so there is something for everybody. As for the combat system, we actually elaborated on what we had in The Witcher 2. It was very action-oriented, so we took that part and we took the best out of The Witcher 2. We work on that, we try to avoid all the mistakes. The best example would be the dodge system, you know, that you usually rolled in The Witcher 2. In The Witcher 3 you will have dodges, you will have evades, rolls, you will have my favorite personal, which is the half pirouette. So it'll be vastly different from The Witcher 2 and also way better.
Question number 3. Could you please name some of the stuff you can do aside from quests? Actually, there will be plenty of activities to get involved in when not questing. First of all, Geralt is a monster hunter, as you know, so he does that for a living. He tracks beasts, he hunts them down, and then he collects bounty. And you will be able to get involved in those activities.
Then you have fist fighting, for example, or horse racing, or boat racing. We introduced both in this part, so there will be also a way of using those as your race car, so to speak. And of course there will be points of interest.
Yes, points of interest is a very interesting mechanism that we are introducing in The Witcher 3, which basically means that if you can go anywhere and everywhere you can actually see something, like for example a smoke coming out of a village, and you get closer and you see that there are bandits, they're pillaging the village. You can go in and stop them.
Number 4. Let's assume we leave our horse somewhere and forget about it. Will it stay there forever, or perhaps be stolen, or maybe can we somehow summon it to our location? Rest assured, you will be always able to summon your horse. You will just whistle and the horse will run to your location if, for example, you fell from a cliff or go into the wrong direction and lose sight of it. So you will never ever lose your horse.
Question number 5. How many difficulty levels does Wild Hunt have? There will be several difficulty levels in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, but the biggest thing, the main factor that determines the game's difficulty is that there is no auto-scaling of enemies whatsoever. Even though from the very beginning of the game you can virtually go anywhere in the world, you need to remember that you can encounter some monsters who can be very deadly in certain areas.
And basically they can kill you right away. Question number 6. Will there be gnomes in the game? Our friend who saw that question asked us to respond, you will never gnome, but honestly, no. No. And no gnomes, by the way.
Question number 7. Are there any monsters which you can only kill by using a special tactic, like using mixtures or knowing a hidden weakness? Absolutely. There will be plenty of monsters that will require a different approach. A specific tactic, a combination of mixtures, or a different oil that needs to be applied on a sword in order to kill it. Sometimes you may be required to change your bolts in a crossbow you're using to also finish off the monster.
There are situations in which you have to use certain bomb types, certain signs, and of course you know that you have 2 different swords for different types of opponents, so the quick answer is yes. Question number 8. Can you take the weapons of your enemies and use them in combat? Well, actually, no, you cannot. Geralt is a master sword fighter and he always uses his signature swords in combat, so there won't be any way of taking the weapons of the enemies. But also, you can use the crossbow and your fists.
Question number 9. Is the entire soundtrack composed mainly by Percival? Is the music in the game dynamic? Well, to answer the first question, no. The person who is in charge, who's overseeing the soundtrack of the game from a artistic and conceptual side of things is Marcin Momot, and he's also a main composer. Together with Tadek Zielinski, they're both working on creating beautiful pieces of music you might have heard already. Also, there's Percival, who you may know from our recent trailer. They make excellent music. And let's not forget to give credit to our extremely talented sound designers who are also part of the team. So overall, there are quite a few people involved in making the sound of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
And as for the second part of the question, is the music in the game dynamic? Yes, of course, it changes according to the action. It's number 10. Does the horse have its own inventory we can stash loot in? Yes, if you have an excess of items, you will be always able to use your horse as an extra inventory space.
Alright, time for question number 11. Does the game have any random encounters? Say you're on the road, what can happen? Well, actually anything can happen in the world of The Witcher, as it is inhabited by many creatures and characters who have their own agendas. Let's say you're riding a horse down the road and you see a wagon that is being attacked by a griffin, and the griffin is feasting on a dead horse. Merchants are running away for their lives. It's only up to you to either help the poor guys or just go the other way and follow your quest.
Number 12. Can you actually visit the place in Novigrad where you put your logo on one of the rooftops? Geralt can't jump that high, he can't get to the rooftops, he's not a parkour guy, so you won't be able to get to that place directly. But maybe if you are really lucky and very, very perceptive, you will find a place from which you can spot the logo on the roof.
The lucky 13. Can Geralt sneak and perform stealth attacks? Well, as you know, Geralt is a master swordsman, so he prefers more of a face-to-face approach. So no, there will be no stealth mechanics or sneaking sequences in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Question number 14. Could you please explain the potion refilling system? So for The Witcher Wild Hunt, we created a completely new potion system. First off, you have to find a crafting recipe, or buy it, of course, in the shop. Then you have to gather ingredients, and with those combined, you will create a level 1 potion. That you can use in combat. Unlike Witcher 2, in which you used potions only before combat, during meditation, in Witcher 3 you will use them during combat, and you will have several uses of each potion. Then you can refill them while meditating. And of course you can upgrade your potions as well. For that you need more ingredients, you basically have to gather some more ingredients, and then the potion, the higher tier of potion, will have more strength, it will be more effective, and it will affect Geralt in various ways.
Question number 15. Will there be quests which are not about killing at all, like in the short stories? Will you be able to solve a good amount of quests without killing anybody? Actually, there will be plenty of quests like that. Geralt's goal is not to kill as many people as he possibly can, and our game is all about making meaningful choices. So there will be plenty of dialogue options within quests that will let you finish them off in non-violent ways.
So you might remember the Witcher 2 and the fact that you could use signs, the Witcher signs, during the dialogues. It will be the case in the Witcher 3 as well.
Yeah, like for example to persuade people, in order to tell you what you need.
Number 16. Can we expect unique story branches that alter the course of the whole story, similar to how The Witcher 2 handled it with Chapter 2 onwards? Will choices and consequences play a big part in the story, as they did in the previous 2 games? So I will actually start responding to that question from the second part. The whole Witcher world revolves around meaningful choices and their consequences, so without those, it wouldn't be a Witcher game. So of course, in The Witcher 3 we will have choices and consequences. Without that, it wouldn't work. That being said, we won't have branching stories like we did in The Witcher 2. We want players to experience the whole story without exceptions.
Question number 17. Will there be NPC monsters, as in monsters that you won't just attack but also talk to? Yes, as you know, the Witcher universe is filled with monsters and creatures who are not just mindless beasts, but they are sentient, and actually sometimes you will be able to reason with them to achieve what you need, not only fight.
If you played the previous installment of the game, you can actually remember the quest with trolls. So rest assured that in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt we'll have quests like those as well. 18. And this one's my favorite. How much coffee do you drink each day at CD and does it auto-refill?
Question number 19. Will there be edibles, food and drink consumables in The Witcher 3 as there were in the first game, or is food and drink strictly an in-game cinematic element as in The Witcher 2? Yes, there will be edibles, and we are actually planning to tie them into certain gameplay mechanics, but more about that will be revealed soon, so stay tuned.
Number 20. Will there be any change in the inventory system, or will it be the same? Actually, yes, there will be changes in the inventory system. This time we are going for the grid-based system, and we will show it to you really soon. Guys, thank you for all the questions. We hope that you liked the answers, and see you next time.
See you.